Hello, Matt Nuss here, one of the duty directors of meteorological operations here at Fleetweather. Wanted to present you with some data and a discussion of the potential ROI for your fleet over the past year, provided by our weather routing and forecast service. So I should preface this to say that this is only comparing the vessels that we have done active weather routing and forecasts for. I know that we do seek authorization from time to time when either there is no charter's weather routing service being provided, or the master may come in and just request second opinions for certain voyages. So this did limit the quantity of voyage over the past year. However, there were enough voyages done to gain some valuable insight into the savings offered. So the savings comparison here is basically taking Fleetweather's recommended route and comparing that with either the direct route distance-wise or the master's proposed route, which we obtained prior to departure. It should be noted that the shortest route is not always the most optimal route, as there are several ways to optimize the route that our team of accredited routers perform, including optimization of ocean currents and minimization of heavy weather as well. So jumping into the data here, as you can see over the past year, and I should note that this does not include any data for the month of December, so this is up through November of 2025. First graph here showing the total fuel cost savings, total higher cost savings, and then there's the total savings overall. So as you can see in the quarters, the biggest quarter of the year, quarter two, about $83,000 in savings, and otherwise pretty stable in the $40,000 to $50,000 range per quarter, and this is just on weather routed voyages. In addition to the time hire and fuel cost savings, we are also saving emissions as well. And as you can see, kind of beginning of quarter two had the biggest months overall, and then again a peak in November. And this does make sense because typically in the shoulder seasons, you may start to see some increases in possibilities for optimization of route, wherein some of the early portions of the summer in northern hemisphere and vice versa in the southern hemisphere, there may be less ways to optimize if the weather is overall benign. So you typically can get more savings, especially in the shoulder seasons between summer and winter. In terms of actual dollar amounts here, this is separated by month just to give you an estimated amount further to the graphs I just showed by quarter. So as you can see, things starting off a bit slow in January, just because you're in the kind of middle portion of North Hemisphere winter, sometimes causing a lot of safety routes just to avoid the heaviest weather, and then increasing here throughout the year, especially across kind of the middle portions of the year. Overall, savings projected to date, again, end of November, about $218,000 US dollars. So sizable savings for the fleet due to the optimization of the routes provided by the Fleetweather team. And one final graph here, again, just showing cumulative fuel emissions and time saved. So basically the same trends here, but just in a quantity instead of a dollar amount here. So you can see savings about 653 tons of emissions, time savings cumulatively about just under 150 hours, and then fuel savings well above 200 metric tons for the year. I did want to discuss two particular voyages which occurred over the past year, which offered some of the larger savings amounts. So this was a voyage of the Genco Constantine back from April that we recommended a route which offered nearly a 400-mile savings and almost a day and a half of time savings over the master's route. So really quite a large savings overall. You can see majority of the reason, part of the reason was the shorter distance over ground compared to the master's intentions, which was about 160 miles of the savings, so almost just a little under half of the savings, and then certainly a better almost tenth of a knot difference in currents, so a positive current factor on our route compared to a negative current factor on master's route, and then about a tenth of a knot less weather factor due to the expected lighter weather on our route as well. So all that combined offered nearly a day and a half earlier ETA than master's proposed route. So checking on things here, you can see some of this currents factor here. So master's route is in the pink here, proceeding via Sunda Strait here, and our route was proposed to go via Malacca and Singapore Strait up to China. So you can see, especially across the northern portions here, very large area of very highly favorable currents helping to push the vessel along and save on that speed and fuel. In addition, the time of year she was transiting here, some trade winds impacting her, especially for longer periods along the southern portion of the route. Here's an example of that from the 16th of May, where she was in some pretty heavy trade winds. So you can see that if she had stayed on her more southern route, she'd be proceeding through this area of heavy trade winds for a much longer period of time, whereas on our route, she gets out of it much sooner. So that combined with the ocean currents led to a good benefit overall. So again, a day and a half savings just by using our optimization service. So a really good savings there, and the master did take our recommended route, and the savings were realized. Final voyage here I wanted to share was the Genco Ranger. Happened earlier in November, so this voyage is actually still underway. So again, this is potential savings based on the pre-voyage situation. So this one was a trans-Pacific voyage from San Nicolas, Peru, up to Qingdao. Master's route was going to be a kind of a shorter route overall. You can see here that the distance over ground about 200 miles less than Fleetweather's recommended route, but the adverse weather and ocean currents adding up to a significant difference. You can see here about a third of a knot adverse factors, where Fleetweather's recommendation would have led to actually about a 2/10 of a knot favorable overall factor. So all things considered, after that, the longer route, which was our route, actually is going to realize about a 19-hour savings. In addition, and that is further described by the 221 nautical mile savings, which leads to the 19.4 hours overall. So just showing things here, we recommended the vessel proceed south of Hawaii and then south of Japan to her destination. Master had intended to go up abeam Cabo San Lucas in Mexico, GC south of the Aleutians, and then enter via north of Japan to her destination, which this time of year, getting into early winter time, is usually quite adverse up here with the both the ocean currents as well as the gale and storm track. So on our route, proceeding south of Hawaii is of great benefit. Again, once because of the strong equatorial ocean currents, which she can take advantage of, and in addition, she avoids the large area of adverse conditions, typically further north across the North Pacific. Here's just one image from there with the master's intended route, Route 1 in pink there, and our recommended route. You can see here the adverse weather just starting to be shown in the later portions of the forecast provided at the time, and on our route, much lighter conditions. And this is a live look at the upcoming weather of the Genco Ranger right now. As she is on our route south of Hawaii, you can see the very large storm across the mid-ocean here, where she would be heading up much further north, kind of into this area here, had she taken her route. So again, optimizing the route overall has saved a sizable amount of time. So just wanted to present that to you, to show the value added by using our route optimization service. And of course, we're always here 24/7, 365 to answer any questions or provide any weather routing assistance on any voyage that you require us for. So thanks for watching. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.